Picture this. The sun's just peeking through the curtains, casting a soft golden glow across your room. You blink awake, and for a moment, there's peace until you move. Your knees groan like rusty gate hinges. Your back stiffens as if it's forgotten how to bend. And the simple act of swinging your legs over bed feels like negotiation with a body that's no longer on your side. Maybe you've been there, staring at the stairs as if they've grown taller overnight, or pausing halfway through carrying the groceries, wondering when they got so heavy. I know that feeling. I'm 84, and I've lived those mornings, days when time seemed to carve its mark too deep, when my reflection in the mirror whispered back a story of loss. The loss of ease, of strength, of the me I used to know. But what if I told you there's a way to rewrite that story? Not with grand promises or impossible dreams, but with something small, tiny even, yet so powerful it can shift the very way you feel in your skin? What if, in just 3 minutes a day, you could peel back the years, not to chase the wild youth of your 20s, but to reclaim the steady, vibrant energy of your 50s? I'm not here to sell you a gimmick or a fantasy. This is my truth, a quiet revolution I stumbled into, and it's changed everything. I've seen it change others too. People like you, who thought their best days were behind them until they discovered they weren't. So, pull up a chair, pour yourself a warm drink, and let me take you on this journey. I'm going to share 5 simple habits, each one taking no more than 3 minutes, that lifted me from the weight of 84 to the lightness of 50. They're not complicated. They don't need a gym, a trainer, or a fortune. All they ask is a little time, a little faith, and a heart open to possibility. By the end, you might just find that growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It can mean growing stronger, freer, and more alive than you dare to hope. The weight of years and the promise of something more. Aging isn't just a number. It's a feeling. It's the ache that settles into your bones after a night of restless sleep, the hesitation before you step off a curb, the quiet sigh when you realize you've left a laundry basket at the bottom of the stairs because carrying it up feels like too much. I remember the first time I felt it, really felt it. I was 78, kneeling in my garden, hands deep in the soil when my knees locked up. I couldn't stand without grabbing the fence, and for a moment I sat there, dirt under my nails, tears stinging my eyes. Was this it? Was this the slow fade I'd been dreading? My husband used to tease me, saying I'd outlast him with my stubborn spirit, but he was gone now, and there I was, wondering if my body had given up too. That's when I started searching, not for a cure, but for a way to feel like me again. I didn't want to run marathons or dance all night. I just wanted to walk to the mailbox without wincing, to carry my own groceries, to feel steady on my feet. I talked to friends, read books, watched videos, and pieced together stories from people who'd found their own paths. What I discovered wasn't a single answer, but a collection of small, powerful steps. Steps so simple they seemed too good to be true, yet so effective they turned my days around. These 5 habits became my lifeline, and they can be yours too. They take just 3 minutes each. 15 minutes total if you do them all, and they've given me back something I thought I'd lost forever. Control. Not over time, but over how I live it. Let's walk through them together, step by step, heart to heart, because this isn't just my story, it's ours. Habit 1. Waking up my joints, waking up my soul. Mornings were my battlefield. I'd wake up, stiff as a board, my hips locked in protest, my knees creaking like the old porch swing my grandkids used to love. I'd shuffle to the bathroom, one hand on the wall, feeling like a stranger in my own body. It wasn't always like that. I used to bound out of bed, eager for the day, coffee brewing, birds singing, the promise of a walk or a chat with a neighbor. But age crept in, and with it came that grinding stiffness, that rusty feeling that made every step a chore. I'd lie there some days, staring at the ceiling, wondering if this was my new normal. Then I met Clara. She was 80, a widow with silver hair and a smile that lit up the room, and she moved like she was defying time itself. We met at a community lunch, her sitting across from me with a plate of roast chicken and a story to tell. "You got to wake your joints up," she said, her voice soft but firm. "They're not weak, they're just asleep." She told me about her morning ritual. 3 minutes, no more, sitting on the edge of her bed, moving her body in gentle, deliberate ways. I was skeptical. 3 minutes? Really? But I was desperate enough to try. Here's what she taught me, and what I've done every day since. You start with your ankles. Sit up, feet dangling just above the floor, and rotate them 10 times clockwise, 10 times the other way. Feel the stiffness give way, like ice melting under a warm sun. Then your knees, bend them, straighten them, slow and easy, letting the motion wake them up. Twist your torso side to side, gentle as a breeze, and finish with your shoulders. Big, lazy rolls, forward and back, then a few neck turns to shake off the last of the night. No yoga mat, no fancy stretches, just you, your body, and 3 quiet minutes. The first day, I felt silly, like a kid playing pretend. But by day 3, something shifted. My knees didn't creak as loud. By day 10, I was stepping out of bed with a lightness I hadn't known in years. Clara explained it to me later, over tea in her cozy kitchen. When you sleep, the fluid around your joints thickens, like syrup on a cold day. Moving them gently gets it flowing again, lubricates everything, keeps it smooth. She was right. It's science, sure, but to me, it felt like magic, a soft, everyday kind of magic that turns shuffling into striding. There's more to it, though. Clara said it wakes your mind, too. It's like telling your brain, hey, we're still here, still moving. She was onto something. I noticed my mornings got clearer. No more fog, no more fumbling for words. I felt sharper, steadier, like my body and mind were in sync again. I think of Clara every time I do it. Her spark, her strength, and I feel a little of it in me, too. She told me about her husband, gone 5 years, and how this ritual kept her going. I'd do it for him, she said, and for me. I get that now. It's not about touching your toes or impressing anyone. It's about standing tall, staying steady, keeping the falls at bay. Every morning I skip the stiffness is a morning I win back a piece of myself. 3 minutes, that's all it takes. Your body's not broken. It's waiting for you to wake it up. Habit 2, breathing life back into my days. Have you ever woken up and felt like the day was already too much? Your chest tight, your breath shallow, like you're carrying a weight you can't see? I didn't realize how often I felt that until I met James. He was 79, a retired teacher with kind eyes and a voice that carried the weight of 1,000 lessons. We met at the library, him flipping through a book on gardening, me looking for something to fill my quiet afternoons. He caught me rubbing my chest one day, a habit I didn't even know I had, and he asked, "You ever try breathing on purpose?" I laughed. What kind of question was that? But his face was serious, gentle. James told me his story over coffee at the corner cafe, the steam rising between us like a shared secret. He used to wake up every morning with his heart racing, not from a run or a scare, but from a quiet, nameless panic that crept in with age. Doctor said I was fine, he shrugged. But I didn't feel fine. Tests showed nothing. No heart trouble, no lung issues. Just a man whose body had forgotten how to start the day calm. Then he found his fix. 3 minutes of deep, intentional breathing. It's not about fixing everything, he said. It's about giving yourself a moment to land. I went home that day, curious, and tried it. Feet flat on the floor, hands resting soft on my belly, eyes closed. I breathed in through my nose, slow and deep, like I was drawing the morning itself. Then out through my mouth, even slower, letting go like a sigh I'd been holding too long. 3 minutes, that's it. The first time I felt nothing special, just air, just me. But by day 5, something clicked. My chest loosened. My heart slowed. I felt grounded, like the world wasn't rushing at me anymore. James was right. It wasn't a cure, but it was a reset. He explained it later, leaning across that cafe table, his voice low and steady. We breathe shallow all the time, little sips of air, and it tells your body you're stressed, even when you're not. Deep breaths flip that switch. I looked it up after: parasympathetic nervous system, cortisol levels, all that science stuff. But to me, it's simpler. It's calm in a storm. It's a signal to my body. You're safe. You're here. James said it changed his mornings from a chase to a dance. And I felt that too. I'd wake up, breathe, and suddenly the day wasn't an enemy. It was mine to lead. I think of him now, Every time I sit there, hands on my belly, letting the air fill me up. He told me once, over a second cup, how it helped him after his wife passed. Gave him a way to face the silence without breaking. It's not just air, he said, eyes misty. It's strength. I get that now. At our age, stress sneaks in. A phone call, a memory, a creak in the house, and it can send your heart racing. But 3 minutes of breathing builds a wall between that and you. It's control, quiet and fierce, and it's yours for the taking. Don't skip it because it's simple. Sometimes the smallest things hold the deepest power. Habit 3. Legs that carry me again. Your legs are everything. They're the roots that hold you up, the wings that carry you forward, or they should be. Mine stopped feeling that way years ago. I'd get out of bed, trudge to the kitchen, and feel like I was dragging anchors, heavy, stubborn things that didn't want to move. I blamed age, bad weather, old shoes, anything but me. Then I met Henry, a 66-year-old grandfather with a laugh like summer thunder, who showed me I'd been wrong. We crossed paths at the park, him leaning on a bench, me catching my breath after a slow lap. Legs giving you trouble? He asked, nodding at my careful steps. I nodded back, sheepish. He grinned. Mine, too, until I started waking them upright. Henry's trick was a 3-minute leg ritual, something he'd pieced together after years of feeling off balance. You don't need to run, he said. Just remind them they're alive. Here's what he taught me. Sit in a chair, feet flat, and march in place. Knees up, slow and steady, like you're stepping to a gentle beat. Then stand, hold the back of that chair, and lift your toes 10 times, feeling your calves stretch awake. Finish with slow calf raises, up and down, letting your legs remember they're strong. 3 minutes, no sweat, no pain, just connection. I tried it the next day, expecting little. But by week 2, I felt it. My legs weren't just there. They wanted to move. Henry told me his story as we sat on that park bench, the sun dipping low. I used to feel like my legs were done, 66, and I thought that was it. Blamed arthritis, blamed time. But this brought them back. He'd been a carpenter once, always on his feet, until age slowed him down. I miss that, he said, voice thick. Miss feeling solid. 3 minutes a day gave it back. Not the youth, but the strength. I saw it in him. He stood taller, walked surer, and I felt in me too. My balance steadied. My steps lightened. I could carry the laundry up those stairs again. No pause, no wince. Its blood flow, Henry said, gets the oxygen moving, wakes up the nerves, keeps the swelling down. I read later how it helps circulation, how it fights the numbness that creeps into aging feet. But to me, it's more personal. It's flipping a switch every morning, telling my legs, you're still mine. For us, with years behind us, strong legs aren't about pride. They're about freedom. Freedom to walk the block, to chase a grandkid, to live without that quiet fear falling. Henry's eyes lit up when he talked about it. I'm not done yet. Neither am I. 3 minutes, and my roots are deep again. Habit 4. Feeding my body, healing my steps. You don't think about food as medicine until it betrays you or saves you. I learned that from Margaret, a 76-year-old with a walker and a will of iron. We met at the grocery store, her eyeing the produce while I fumbled with a loaf of white bread. That's your problem, she said, pointing at my cart. Jam, sugary cereal, the usual. It's why your knees hurt. I bristled. How did she know? But she smiled, soft and knowing. Mine did too, until I changed breakfast. Margaret's knees used to swell by noon, stiffening her stride after years of toast and sweet coffee. She thought it was just age catching up, but a friend nudged her towards something else. Food that fights inflammation. She swapped the sugar for oats, topped with wild blueberries, a handful of walnuts, a dusting of cinnamon. 3 weeks, she told me, leaning on her cart, and I could walk the park again. No swelling, no ache. I was intrigued. Could it be that simple? I tried it. Oats warm in a bowl, those tiny purple berries bursting with something I couldn't name, nuts crunching between my teeth. 3 minutes to make, less to eat, and by week 2, I felt it. My joints softer, my steps lighter. Margaret explained it over tea at her kitchen table, her walker parked by the door. Inflammation's a thief. It stiffens you up, slows you down. Sugar feeds it. These foods fight it. She was right. I dug into it later, learned how blueberries pack antioxidants, how walnuts calm the fire in your cells. But to me, it's not just science, it's a gift. I think of Margaret every morning, spooning that goodness into my bowl. She told me how she'd lost her husband to a stroke, how she'd nearly lost herself to pain. This kept me going, she said, voice trembling. Gave me back my legs. I feel that too. Every bite of small defiance, a reclaiming. You don't need a gourmet kitchen, just consistency. Add turmeric if you like, or chia seeds, or spinach in a smoothie. It's not the recipe, it's the habit. Feed your body right, and it answers with strength you thought was gone. Breakfast isn't just food, it's healing, and it's yours for 3 minutes a day. Habit 5, the ocean's gift to my legs. The sea holds secrets, and Thomas knew them all. He was 83, a fisherman with hands rough as rope and a laugh that rolled like waves. We met at the docks, him unloading a cooler of fish, me buying a bundle for dinner. Legs bothering you? He asked, catching my slow shuffle. I nodded, embarrassed. Try this, he said, tapping a salmon. Twice a week, it'll fix you. Thomas's legs used to drag like sandbags, upstairs, across rooms, until his doctor muttered about circulation. Not arthritis, not weight, just blood moving too slow, he told me, grinning. His cure? Cold water fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, grilled simple with greens. 2 months, he said, and they stopped fighting me. Omega-3s, he explained, easy inflammation, open the vessels, let the oxygen flow. I started with sardines, cheap, easy, and felt it, a lightness, a steadiness, like my legs remembered how to carry me. He told me more as we sat on a bench, the salt air sharp around us. Used to fish all day, then couldn't climb a step without cursing. This brought it back, not all of it, but enough. He cut the junk too, less red meat, no processed stuff, and that mattered. I tried it, and my legs thanked me. Every step smoother, every stair less a battle. No fish? Algae oil works. But Thomas's gift was a rhythm, good in, bad out. The sea's medicine, he said, eyes on the horizon. I feel him in every bite, every stronger stride. A life reclaimed, step by step, what stays with you. The joint rolls that hush my mornings, the breaths that steady my heart, the leg lifts that rooted me, the berries that soften my joints, the fish that lighten my load. At 84, I've learned this. Age doesn't define you. Habits do. 3 minutes a day, and I'm not just surviving. I'm thriving. Free to walk, to stand, to live without fear. It's not youth. It's joy, fierce and quiet. Try one, just one tomorrow. 3 minutes. Feel it. Then tell me I want your story. Like this? Hit that button. It means you're with me. Subscribe. Tap the bell. We're building something here. Share it with someone who needs it. Comment below, what will you try? Your voice fuels me. Can't wait to see you back for more.